Hey, what up, everybody here in the V Club? Merry Christmas, those of you that are celebrating Christmas and the holidays and such. And this channel is about anything and everything. Nothing's off the table. And just pointing out that stuff. It's funny how things are. But yeah, if you haven't done so, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That way you can stay on top of this stuff, common sense stuff. And just pointing at things that it's like, wow, really? And things like that. I just want to share with you my opinion. So without further ado, let's get to it. I don't even know where I want to begin. It's like every day there's always something, you know. So it's always something every day. Yeah. So let's take a look at this here. This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. All right. So it says here, a popular Concord restaurant, Lima, closing at the end of December following a ladies' night lawsuit. All right, so this restaurant got sued on discrimination. All right, and because they were holding a ladies' night, you know how clubs or bars, they do certain promotions, right? Ladies' night has been a thing for a long time, for forever, when it comes to bars and restaurants and things like that. It's just a way to bring the crowd in, right? Do certain specials. They always do all these different specials, right? It's just to draw people in. And so this place was just doing a ladies' night. I mean, there's nothing crazy about it. And then they had to shut down this restaurant because of this promotion. They got sued for discrimination, and because they had to settle for this discrimination lawsuit, it shut down their business because no money because of financial concerns. So they had to close, or they will be closing by the end of the year. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I can't believe this. I mean, what kind of ambulance chasing attorney or lawyer would do this kind of shit? You know, that's the one thing you see here. They don't name the person. They don't name the lawyer. Because how can the lawyer even sleep ambulance chasing doing this bullshit like this? This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. The owner told ABC 7 News that they haven't been able to fully bounce back from the cost of settling a recent lawsuit related to discounting drinks for women on its ladies' night. Like, really? You fucking piece of shit? Attorneys? Like that. Then people like him, man, they should just like not even do this. Lee's Deli permanently closed all located after 4 years in downtown SF. All right, well, hey, that's San Francisco there. It's a frivolous lawsuit that took us down. It's just ambulance chasing. Exactly. All right. Several similar lawsuits have been filed throughout the country, taking aim at variations of ladies' night. Really? Like, come on. I mean, it's already kind of hard to bring ladies to the bar because typically a bar was a place where guys go hang out, get some drinks, shoot pool, whatever, watch sports, right? That's just how it is, right? It's a guy's thing. So what do you do to try to draw females to there, right? Because it's a different set of clientele. You do a ladies' night, right? I mean, plus it'll draw more guys. It'll draw females to the guys. I mean, it's a win-win situation here for the business. But yet, there's probably it has to be a guy that didn't like how they have a ladies' night promotion, but what? Because it has cheaper liquor or cheaper beer or something, discounted for the ladies' night, that they can't handle it for. Usually these ladies' nights, like it's only one day. It's not like it's an everyday thing or it's a forever thing. It's just a one day in a week, and you're telling me that it's discrimination. Get the fuck out of here. You know. Earlier this year in Fresno, its minor league baseball team was sued over a ladies' night promotion. It was exactly that, discrimination over ladies' night. Did it surprise you? Were you shocked? It was a lot. I see ladies' night everywhere and out of state, so yes, I was shocked by it. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, what kind of shit is that? This is some woke piece of shit, blue liberal progressive crybaby. They got to shove it up their ass is what they got to do, because this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Right? At Lima, the cost of the lawsuit just piled into an already tough time with high inflation driving up the cost to get meals on the table. Because they were actually a family restaurant, I think, is what they said Lima was. Family-run restaurant that was trying to do a ladies' night just to bring some clientele in. I mean, what is wrong with that? You know, so it's very sad to see a lot of family-run places in downtown Concord disappear and replaced by corporate chains that can pay the high rent. It's not the same. Yeah, this just California. How about that? It's just California. How they drive out people, they drive out businesses. They have all this red tape and bullshit. I mean, this is the most idiotic, dumbest thing I've ever heard. All right, and yeah, so that's California for you. All right, so what else we got going on here? Look at this one. Alleged shoplifter shocked by stricter California laws. Man, imagine if you enforce laws, how people could actually get arrested, crime would actually go down. Oh my gosh! I mean, that's an amazing concept. That if you actually make arrest, if you actually, do something to be harsh on people, to actually be strict and punish for people committing crimes, that crimes will actually go down. Oh my gosh! I mean, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard. Right? But it had to take a law to be soft on crime for people to realize that, oh shit, crime is out of control, except for blue liberals, right? Liberals and progressives, they don't know any better because they're so high up the elite ladder that they don't realize that being soft on people, being soft on crime actually affects everybody, right? Top down, it affects everybody. But they don't realize that because they don't go shopping every day. They don't go and do things every day to see that, oh shit, these policies are actually bad. All right? And at least we were, seeing enough to where we could actually vote and make a difference, be like, you know what, we got to pass this Prop 36. And oh my gosh, when you have laws and you enforce laws and you arrest people and you punish people for committing crimes, it actually does pay. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Video showing an accused shoplifter shocked to learn that she may face a felony charge for theft.
Oh my gosh.
The Southern California Police Department is now reminding folks about the new Prop 36 law that cracks down on low-level theft. Matt Finn, live in Los Angeles to explain all of this.
You see that? They just straight up walked out.
Memo to shoplifters, you can now be prosecuted.
It's about time.
That's right, John. And here in California, we've reported on countless cases of brazen theft, shoplifting with no significant consequences.
And look at that. And this has been going on for like the last 10 years. That it got to the point where crime wasn't reported. You can't really step in the way, because if you step in the way of a crime in progress, it can actually get you fired, right? It's bullshit like that in soft California, right? And finally, they've passed this law, and look, I mean, it's amazing how you enforce crime, good things can happen.
Last month, California voters overwhelmingly approved the new law, Prop 36, which
that, by the way, Gavin Newsom was trying so hard to fight and resist against, right? In terms of trying to shoot down Prop 36 and try to say that, oh, if you vote for this, there's going to be a poison pill attached to it and all that, to try to scare us and fearmonger us into not voting for it and to keep continuing Prop 47, which has been a disaster in California. And, all I gotta say at that time was, hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
Rolls back criminal justice reform policies that critics say led to overwhelming crime. Police and prosecutors now have more leeway to charge crimes as felonies. Like this video from Seal Beach in Orange County. 3 women walk into an Ulta beauty store and then a Kohl's, casually stealing whatever they want, not even trying to conceal some of their stolen goods. Even after leaving the stores, the women, they're in no rush, but are surprised when Seal Beach police run up on them, and after a short chase, they arrest the thieves. Take a listen here as a police camera captures 2 of these young women talking about their shock that they were arrested for a felony.
That's a felony? New laws. Stealing is a felony.
She's even aware of it.
They don't play.
The 3 women were booked into an Orange County jail on charges of grand theft.
And what's cool is that now, if you commit, say, like a misdemeanor and now you commit another one, it can actually add up to become a felony now. Back then, before this Prop 36, you could commit 20 misdemeanors. You could commit 100 misdemeanors. If it was under $950 each incident, it doesn't add up. It just counts as, oh, it's less than $950. Here's a misdemeanor. Here's a ticket. Show up in court. Right? That's it. That's it. Right? But now this stuff can just add up. So if you commit, 2 or 3 times, for example, if it was under the amount, but you did it again, got caught, and it adds up over the felony amount now, you could actually be charged with a felony. This is like the old ways. It's going back to the old days before Prop 47. All right? And it's amazing how, like I said, you can actually punish people for crime, and maybe crime will actually truly go down, and businesses would actually benefit for a change, and people won't walk out anymore and do all kinds of bullshit, flash mobs and all this crap anymore that these people do.
Conspiracy to commit a crime and resisting arrest. Now, yesterday in Bakersfield, California, Dustin Towery pleaded not guilty to stealing 2 scooters from a Target store. Before Prop 36, Towery could only be charged with a misdemeanor, but now the DA can and did charge this man with a felony, in part because he had 6 prior convictions for stealing and a history of skipping out on court appearances.
There you go.
Had it been before the passage of Prop 36, he would have been given, if caught, which he resisted arrest, but if caught,
exactly what I just explained,
citation and a promise to appear. Now, because of the voters, this man is in custody and can't steal again, at least for a while.
And because of that man's criminal past, the judge ordered him held in jail without bail. Again, something that would not have been possible just a few weeks ago here in California. John.
Yeah, so fuck Gavin Newsom.
It's a whole new world out there. Matt Finn for us from Los Angeles. Matt, thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing how if you just enforce laws, I mean, wow. I mean, it just sounds like it's such innovative, measures that we just took when we actually just did what we used to do a long time ago before Prop 47. I mean, I don't know. It's just stupidity in California with the politicians, and glad to see that, that has kind of changed a bit here for the better, right? Let's see, what else we got going on here? Oh, yeah, AOC. Let's talk about AOC. Well, we'll cap it off with AOC because she's on this spiral, all right, which I think is pretty funny. I want to hear what she has to say here because, it's funny how when it comes to Democrats, they like to blame everybody but themselves, right?
It's not just
so anything that I'll say for sure that with a certainty that AOC is good for banging. That's about it.
Mode over Elon Musk. After the Doge co-chair blasted the frivolous spending Democrats tried to jam through before the holidays, Congresswoman
yeah, so before I continue this, obviously we all know that the government has passed a new spending bill now, right, for the budget, whatever, and Elon Musk had a lot of say in that because he looked at it, took it from 1,500 pages to just 100 pages, 120, whatever, and say, hey, we're going to streamline all this stuff. We don't need all this bullshit pork barrel spending. that they're throwing into the bill and bullshit projects, that all these things they're trying to throw into the bill at the last minute that they always like to cram into these bills, right? And usually they'll just pass it through. But this time with Elon, he looked at it, he's like, nah, we're not going to do this shit. We're not going to do this shit. He was just whittling out everything to where we said, all right, this is what we need to put in. And sent it through. The government still passed it. They voted and still passed it. So it got her to speak a bunch of bullshit, conspiracy lies, and all that. So let's hear what she has to say, because she's just a moron, if anything.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez began to spiral over Musk's influence on President-elect Trump's policy.
Oh, I don't
spiral
think we're
bullshit.
witnessing the start of an oligarchy. I think we are fully here. You literally have a completely unelected billionaire who has just taken over. You have billionaires who run news outlets like Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post, billionaires that run the LA Times, completely interjecting into their editorial boards and manipulating what's being written in them.
She's just a sore loser, right? Because she got, pushed out by Nancy Pelosi. Elon was a Democrat. Jeff Bezos was a Democrat, right? They were Democrats, billionaire Democrats, right? Problem is that they got pushed out because of these progressive, left, Democrat, liberal bullshit ideologies and all this other crap that they keep pushing. And because they lost, she's a sore loser, right? And all these, so-called billionaires she's trying to call out now because they were once part of the Democrats but left because they got tired of this bullshit. She's just a sore loser because Bezos is trying to be fair now with the Washington Post. The LA Times owner is just trying to be fair because they've been far left, all this stuff, media has been far left for far too long, realizing, we got to be more fair to the center at least. And Elon got pushed out of the party because he got tired of the bullshit. So he said, hey, you know what? The Republicans are doing things better. They're better for the working class. And so she's just a sore loser. I mean, Cuban's still on board, and he's a billionaire. He's still on board with the liberals, right? And what's funny about that is if Kamala did win, let's just say she won, oh man, what's his name? Cuban would have been all over the media right now, all in Kamala's ears right now. And you don't think all these elites, millionaires, like Clooney, for example, who facilitated the Biden withdrawal of himself out of the presidential race, you don't think there's no billionaire influence from that? All right, so get out of here with that shit. She's a sore loser.
We're here. We are here.
But Donald Trump brushed off Democrats' panic and said it's just another form of left-wing hysteria.
And no, he's not taking the presidency. I like having smart people. They're on a new kick. Russia, Ukraine, all the different hoaxes. And the new one is President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on?
Yeah, because, like I said, AOC is a moron. All right? Think about what you just said, all right? Because back then, Hillary Clinton, when she was running against Trump, it was all about Russia's interference, blah, blah, blah. But we come to find out, Hunter Biden's been working with Russia this whole time, and who knows what sort of deals that Joe Biden has had himself with Russia, right? Ukraine. You see all these things that how corrupt Democrats are, right? And how corrupt, you look at Pelosi with the insider trading. They're all corrupt elite millionaire billionaires, and they're so deflecting, right? Everything that they say, they deflect on everybody else, which is crazy, because they are actually the doers, and they're just saying it, deflecting it about everybody else when they're actually doing it, in our face. All right, look at Gavin Newsom. How do you have so much money to buy, $1 million, $9 million home for being a governor of California? I mean, it's obvious, right? Money in the pockets, deep. All right, so yeah, and AOC is a loser.
President Trump handled this brilliantly and beautifully by saying, let's have smart people. I think the swamp fears not one innovative, brilliant billionaire businessman, but two working together to actually peel the secret door off and show us all the money that they're spending on stuff and crap we don't need and didn't quite ask for. The other thing I want to focus on AOC here for a moment, Brian, because I think this is a publicity stunt for her. Here's somebody who got walloped by septuagenarian Jerry Connolly just last week when she tried to be a ranking member for the committee. Even Nancy Pelosi voted against her. I think her influence has been waning for a while. This country just rejected her form of socialism. And speaking of billionaires,
they rejected her and the squad. She got lucky. She's hold on to her position in New York. I'm just guessing on her looks because she got nothing else really going for her. She doesn't really serve her people in Brooklyn and different parts of New York that she represents. You can even ask the people in the streets. They said that they've never seen her out there. Say, just to say hi or whatever. They've never seen her out there. All right? And all she has is a big mouth, and I could put something in that big mouth of hers, you know what I'm saying? But all her squad people, right? The Cori Bush, the Jamal Bowmans, got pushed out, right? Because they're garbage. All these, DEI hires that really talk a lot but don't do much, right? And that's the same with her. So how is she going to represent the party line that Pelosi wanted? And that's the reason why she didn't support that. And I think partly because they're way too progressive too.
At least one billionaire, Tom Steyer, has donated to her campaign. Another billionaire, George Soros, secretly funded a trip that she and some other left-wing members of Congress took to go meet with left-wing Latin American leaders. So she's got her own set of billionaires.
Yeah, it's talking about billionaires. Yeah, Soros is another one as well. George Soros. All these, backing all these far-left progressive politicians, right? Yeah, there's your billionaire right there, right? Soros, Cuban. So yeah, don't bust me with some bullshit, right? All her conspiracy, moronic bullshit, lies, and like I said, she's just a sore loser.
She just doesn't like Trump's billionaires. Right. Elon Musk is an innovator. He's a job creator. He's brilliant. He's going to get this done. He's doing it as a volunteer. But I can't help but think that she knows Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, all these people she supported and endorsed lost in the primaries because they're seen as too left-wing. I feel like it's a play for relevance.
Right. I think she ran for that to be the ranking member, to be more mainstream. And Nancy Pelosi, even with one hip, says, whatever you do, I'm suffering here in, I think, Denmark, she fell. We'll find out, or if she could whisper something about Greenland. But she says, make sure she doesn't win. She got 84 votes, wasn't nearly enough. But I will say this. To say Elon Musk is like a billionaire or Donald Trump's a billionaire, you just diminish why he's there. He's not there because he's rich. He's there next to the president because he's innovative, he's resourceful, he understands manufacturing. He's not just somebody with great ideas. He implements those ideas.
And also, they have a background in business. They know how to run a business. They know how to run, and government basically is just a large-scale business, right? So you got a budget. You got to, look at where you got to cut costs, cut spending if needed. I mean, if they have a background in running businesses, I think it'll bode well for government because it's just a large-scale business. So that's why you have these people running the government, right? And it's like what he said. It's not about them being billionaires. It's more about running a business.
And that's why the president keeps him close. And that's why as much as I like Governor Chris Christie, I think he's wrong. On Sunday, he said, well, Trump gets sick of you. He keeps you close for 3 months, and then he gets sick of hearing from you, and he gets rid of you like Reince Priebus and others. That's true with people who are maybe aides. This guy is someone who's going to be talking to him about different ways to move our country forward in a way that maybe only he knows how.
And aside from that, you look at the opposite end of the spectrum, like the Bidens, the Newsoms, the Eric Adams, the Brandon Johnsons, right? These all liberal Democrats, right? Progressive Democrats. They don't know how to run a city or a state, right? They've broken their budgets, overspending, and then try to come back to ask for more, whether it's from the government, federal government, whether it's from the people, right, to tax them. So when you look at that, it's like, how's that really, showing that you could demonstrate running a business? Whereas Trump and the team, Elon, they are really fine-lining everything, trying to streamline things and cut costs, cut spending. I mean, it's common sense, right?
What he did and what he accomplished between chips and brains, between Starlink, between SpaceX, between Tesla, and now he's got this other company that drills tunnels underneath the ground to get you places quickly. That's a guy I want next to me.
How to turn a chilly 50-degree room into a comfortable 73 degrees in 90 seconds.
Lisa, this is what they did during our first term, trying to divide the president from his team.
That's all it is.
Putting all these ridiculous stories out there. Who's trying
Yeah, they're trying to say, oh, Elon is really in charge and Trump isn't. Well, how about this? Biden's never been in charge. Someone's been running the country because it wasn't Biden, right? Biden was a Weekend at Bernie's rendition of president because he wasn't running the country. They even, all these reports about having a diminished brain capacity since the beginning of the presidency, and he's, working off of teleprompters and talking points and all that. And but yet everybody says, oh, he's sharp as a tack, and he runs circles around the rooms and stuff. Yeah, and he sleeps on meetings and sleeps everywhere and anywhere that he can. That's why they call him Sleepy Joe Biden. So yeah. So don't bust me with some bullshit, all right? If you're talking about Elon is really the guy, when Biden was never been the guy these last 4 years.
Trying to be the president, who's leaking, who's doing this, that, and the other against the president. Well, all the while, he likes to surround himself with people who will push back a little bit, respectfully and deferentially. When he says what's going on, he wants to know what's going on. The Oval Office is the biggest hermetically sealed bubble in the world. So Elon Musk is just one of these, the best advisor probably, but one of many advisors. The Bible says wisdom in a multitude of counselors. How do you read all this?
Well, and that's what a good CEO does, right? That's what a good president does. Surround yourself by really smart people. He's surrounding himself with people, problem solvers, doers, titans of business, governors, people who've had to lead for a living. That's what he's doing. I think the reason why they're attacking Elon Musk so much is they're trying to drive a wedge between Elon Musk and the president, right? They're trying to drive apart this, team of Avengers that Donald Trump has surrounded himself, trying to drive a wedge there. But if you're Elon Musk, I think he's doing this truly for the right reasons. I mean, I listened to that whole 2-hour interview that he did with President Trump on X, and he repeatedly talked about the fact that civilization's on the line. Freedom is online. Because
look what happened. If it wasn't for Elon and taking over Twitter X, right? Imagine how slanted media is already right now, and having X, has been beneficial to conservatives and Republicans, because without it, man, there's so much slant towards liberal and conservative, or not conservative, liberal and progressive. It's crazy how much you don't really see because of censorship and all that. And even YouTube is an example of semi-censorship, right? Facebook, Meta's waking up a little bit as he's turned the leaf a little bit as well. Zuckerberg over there. All right, so there's a lot of censorship right now in media, and Elon really uncovered that and realized, holy shit, you know what? There's a lot more shit going on here than meets the eye.
What does he get from catapulting and destroying the CR, right? He doesn't get anything. But what does he get from being on Doge? He doesn't get anything from it. What did he get from the Twitter acquisition, right? He lost $24 billion on it as of September 2024. So, he's doing this for the right reasons. His heart is in for the right reasons. But, they're just trying to drive a wedge between Musk and Trump.
I believe Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to have a long and productive relationship.
Yeah.
As Vivek and Elon get in there and start to uncover and show us all things we can't ignore with our own two eyes, do you think you can get Democrats on board to try to get a little bit more efficiency in government, start slashing this waste?
I hope so. I'd be one Democrat, but I would remind you that one time that in the last several days that Mr. Musk...
We'll see if Democrats can actually fathom that, because they just love to spend and they don't like to hold themselves accountable, and they just love to spend. They can't help themselves. That's the problem that Democrats have.
Who I hold in high regard. He's a graduate of my school as well. The one time he told Congress to do something, they didn't do it. So it was Republicans that didn't do what he wanted to do. I think what Democrats have to understand is you got to be strategic when you are being critical of these kinds of things instead of cathartic. I think you have to understand both Trump and Musk, and for that matter, Vivek Ramaswamy, are disruptors. They're unconventional. The country elected President Trump or elected him again because they wanted an unconventional thinker to deal with traditional, conventional things in their lives. And you gotta stand back and not allow them to run over things, but understand that they're going to approach this a little differently. I think for President Trump, what he has to understand with Elon Musk, and perhaps Elon as well, the closeness that they enjoy and the wealth that they have accumulated, the three of them, and to put anybody in the same conversation with wealth and with Elon is an insult to Elon, but the wealth that they have accumulated is so out of the realm for everyday Americans. You can't even access the wealth that in your own mind what Elon has, and for that matter, Vivek, and what Donald Trump does as well. But the president has to understand their closeness means when they start making recommendations about what government should be doing or the people they should be firing or organizations that should be combined, when those guys speak on social media, there is a sense that they might be speaking for the president. And the president made clear that they're not, but there is a sense when Elon Musk says, any Republican that votes for this, I don't know exact words, but he said it's the wrong thing to do, and he made it sound like there might be consequences. You can understand how some may interpret that to mean that President Trump is speaking. I was glad to hear the president say that was not the case, but going forward, I think they got to be mindful of that.
Look, I wouldn't mind wrapping my head around that kind of wealth.
This is very simple. It's about schemers. That's all it is. The people who are afraid and yelling out is because Elon and Doge are going to be able to show us how public officials on $135,000 salaries became millionaires overnight. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they don't like Elon, because you can't bribe him. You can't blackmail him. He'll say weirder things about himself than you ever could. And the President Trump, I know this from person, he can't stand yes men, and he doesn't like schemers. He doesn't need to fight for re-election. He's playing with house money, and he's going to surround himself with people there who are going to expose. So schemers, and as voters, we should pay attention to everyone who has a problem with what they're trying to do with cleaning up the government.
Yeah, I mean, what is so wrong with cleaning up the government and just really cut spending, cut everything, and streamline efficiency? And that's what the whole message of what Doge is trying to bring. All right, and it will definitely showcase what Democrats have been doing wrong all this time, and they're afraid. They're very afraid. And AOC is a loser. All right, so that's just sharing with you my thoughts. All right, let me know what you think. Man, it's crazy how you can enforce laws and crime doesn't pay, right? And of course, AOC is a loser. And lastly, the frivolous bullshit, ladies' night. I mean, what kind of crap is that? Anyhow, share with me your thoughts. Comment down below. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'll see you in the next one.